part 2 of the in-depth fry screen tutorial. In this one, we're going to be talking about compression. Alright, so compression. This was something I was very confused about for quite a while. The first time I ever heard the term was in a Chris Lippe video where he described accessing compression as like lifting something heavy and just being like, that's how you get it. But that never worked for me. At the time when I was watching this, and I watched it time and time again, trying to understand it, I was sitting at a piano. So I would, try to lift the piano and sing a note and be like, that sound right there is me squeezing my throat, which is bad. You should not be doing that. And the theory and the explanation of you lifting something, in my opinion, is a bad way of going about this. At least it didn't work for me, because I instinctually lift something heavy. I'm like, you don't want to be making sound with your throat. Because that's essentially you taking your vocal cords and going, just squeezing them together, which we don't want. So what is compression then? If compression isn't squeezing your vocal cords together, what is it? So compression is when you take your vocal cords and you don't close them all the way, and some of the other tissues that are in your throat are kind of compressed a little bit. So they're not squeezed, they're just kind of held in place. Think of it like you're whistling. When you whistle, you kind of shape your lips. I'm not squeezing my lips, I'm just holding them in place. See, my lips aren't, it's not, people try to do compression like, see, you can't whistle like that. That's because you're squeezing your lips. You're just simply compressing them and holding them in place. Now then, how do we actually add compression to your voice? How do we do that? Now, there's two different things here. There is vocal closure and vocal compression. Vocal closure is simply closing your vocal cords, whoop, 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 just like that. And a very important thing to note here, when you slam your vocal cords together, that's how they get swollen, and that's how you lose your voice. And we don't want that. So going is perfectly fine if you're going like you're just slamming them together. Like when you cough, your vocal cords are going whap, whap, whap. And that's why it hurts when you cough real hard. So always avoid doing that. So vocal compression is it sounds a little bit different. I'm going to transition from vocal closure to vocal compression. Vocal closure, vocal compression. Now, before you go any further, don't just turn off the video and be like, all right, I know what I'm going to do. No, that's wrong. That's not what I'm saying you need to do. The steps to fry screaming is not the vocal fry, because vocal fry is not the base of a fry scream, even though the name sounds similar. I'm introducing these step by step so you're fully familiar with the process of different things involved. So this isn't necessarily step 2, this is just a part of it that's important, but it's just part 2 of the video. So how do we do this without slamming our vocal cords together? Well, a good way to do it real quick is to say the word hut without the letter T. So hut. And make sure when you do this, your core muscles flex. So, assuming you have a little bit of vocal knowledge and you know to sing from your diaphragm, this shouldn't be a complex topic to you. But in case you don't, just say the word hut without the T a couple times. Even when I say it very gently, my stomach still flexes a little bit, so hut, 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 hut. Very lightly, but just say it like you mean it, like hut, hut, hut. You feel your stomach engage, and if you're doing it right, you'll feel things kind of like whoop, compress a little bit. So now what we do from there is we gently speak through it. So let's just go, what's a simple word? So let's go from to an so my throat is not being squeezed, everything's just kind of being held in place, and this is just the kind of sound it makes with my voice. The way my voice works, this is just the default note, I guess. But you can change the pitch of the compressed note. So like when you bring it up higher, it doesn't sound as you don't sound as much like a really old person when they talk. I have like this weird nasally sound almost. It's kind of like a little bit of twang maybe. But let's go through that again. it's very important to keep in mind, once you go from you release just a tiny bit, but keep everything just kind of held in place. So I'm going to do it very, very slowly. Yeah, just right there. That's all you need. Nothing should be squeezed. It should all be gently held in place. And one more time. Yeah. That's vocal compression. Now I want you to take this and apply it to your head voice. So, yeah. So it sounds a lot different, but I can physically feel everything is still compressed. Not squeezed, compressed, and held in place. Let me know if you have any questions regarding this. I can always make another video explaining it in different kind of detail if you don't quite get it. Just explain to me what the problem is. Write it in a comment or DM. Either way it works for me. I'm here to help. I struggled with fry screen for so long, and I finally learned how to get it, so now I want to help everybody do it so they don't have to struggle as long as I did. And I know there's people out there that have been struggling for longer than I have that still haven't gotten it, so I'm here to help.
So the least you could do is drop a follow and a like. I've just reached 100 followers, and I'm feeling like 1,000. I'm greedy.
But yeah, just like and follow for the next part. The next part is going to be fry distortion. So we're going to be getting into the actual process of fry screaming.